Our guest today is a CRNA that specializes in aesthetics. I'm so excited to speak to her today. Please help me to introduce CRNA Resha.
Thank you for having me.
No worries, no worries. I'm so glad that you're able to do this.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, my name is Jonathan McLean, and I'm the founder and CEO of McLean Aesthetics.
Welcome to the dark side.
Let's go. Resha, thank you for sitting down with me today. Tell the audience where we're located at right now.
So right now we're in Coral Springs.
Nice, nice. And are you from Florida?
Yes, I grew up in Coral Springs. I've been here since I was 10.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Let's start from the beginning. How did you get started in aesthetics? What made you want to get into aesthetics as a CRNA?
So at the time I was working nights and weekend calls, and I decided I just wanted to dive into, a little bit of variety. So I started researching Botox and fillers and started taking some classes.
Nice, nice. That's super interesting because when I talk to new providers, they're always like, well, how do I get in? How do I get in? I always tell them, invest in yourself first and start taking those courses and things like that.
Yes.
How did you know what courses to take?
Honestly, I didn't. There was an email thread that came through from CE Broker, and I saw it, and I said, okay, I'll just start there.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't get any advice from anyone. I just decided to just jump in.
And then once you started, you were like, I love this. I'm never going to go away from it.
Yes. I was still doing anesthesia at the time, and I just decided to just keep taking more and more classes until I felt comfortable.
Nice, nice. Can we go back a little bit back to that? So being a CRNA, for people that don't know, if you can say the title, and then also, what do you do as a CRNA?
So certified registered nurse anesthetist, and I put people to sleep or give them anesthesia for medical procedures.
Wow, and that's so interesting because I'm pretty sure when you're putting people to sleep, you have to know specific dosages, and there's so much that goes behind that. Do you feel like you have a stronger understanding of the human body?
I feel like I do. It takes a lot of knowledge and a lot of practice, but I enjoy it. I enjoy making clients feel very comfortable before and during surgery, and that's what led me into aesthetics.
Being in a hospital setting and then switching over to an outpatient setting,
Okay.
what are some advantages that you saw in kind of being in an outpatient setting?
Well, it's definitely a more relaxed environment, and the stress of having to rush and get the clients in and out of ORs is not there. So that I enjoyed. Just having to do things or being allowed to do things on my own time.
And that's super important because when I look at the industry, a lot of people that want that flexibility, whether it's for their family or for different type of opportunities, they have that in the aesthetic industry in this type of career field. So that's why I feel like they tend to join that. Do you feel like you got a good work-life balance being in aesthetics?
Well, don't get me wrong. Being out of the hospital, although it's very intense and everything is on a time crunch basis, aesthetics requires a lot of time.
Yeah.
So it is a full-time job times two. So it does take a lot of time, it does take a lot of energy, and especially starting a new business, it requires a lot. So although working in the hospital, everything was crunch, getting clients in and out of the OR, aesthetics requires just as much.
And I'm glad you said that because I feel like a lot of people that are getting into this industry because I feel like from right now to year 10 it's going to explode, and this is just the beginning of it. But a lot of people are getting into this industry doesn't understand that you have to constantly train, you have to constantly give that white glove service to your clientele. It's not like a regular doctor's office. It's like a more high level doctor's office.
Yes.
They expect more from you. Personal branding is huge. How have you built your brand as someone that people want to come to?
Right now, I'm still in the process of building my brand. It takes time, and it takes a lot of social media. It takes a lot of money. It requires a lot. So that is a continuous work in progress.
Nice. And what are some things, does social media play a huge role in your career, or what are some things that you use to attract new clients?
Social media does play a huge role. A lot of Instagram, a lot of TikTok, which, like I said, all of that is work in progress. And then I'd have to say I do a lot of going out or attempting to go out and be involved in events. So, I try to go to the gyms a lot, pass out cards. So definitely also speaking to people and handing out cards, I feel works just as well.
Wow, and that's a really good point too, community-wise. You're in the Coral Spring area, somebody else out there might be in their area.
Yes.
But really bringing the community in on what you're doing, it spreads so far, word of mouth.
Yeah. Word of mouth is definitely a big thing with aesthetics.
Nice. What are your views? I know we talked about training a little bit earlier. What are your views on training, and what are some good trainings to actually go to?
So trainings are very important. I have done so many trainings that I can't even count. And, I feel that is one of the number one things that newcomers have to be involved in. In the beginning, I did go to a cadaver class up north with Rose Institute, Audrey Rose Institute. That was a good one. I've gone to Get Refreshed with Jacob's classes. I've gone to a few, so many others. I can't even think of all of them right now. But if anyone asks, I can give them a list of all the, options that they have.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to drop some of those below, and I would love to get even the other list that you have. Because I feel like and I speak to a lot of providers, they always say the training class wasn't worth it, or I didn't get enough training, or, it wasn't really worth my time. I don't feel prepared to go and kind of do this on my own. What are some things that you looked for in a training class when you were picking them?
Well, I feel like every class that you go to provides something different.
Gotcha.
So I just try to take the best from everything I do. So maybe that's why I've gone to so many classes, because one class is not enough. One basic Botox and fillers class is not enough. One advanced Botox and fillers class is not enough. You just learn too much from other providers. I also do online trainings as well. There's an online training that Botox Bunny has, so I do some of those where it's like a monthly subscription. So there are a lot of different ways you can gain knowledge from different providers to help.
Wow, and that's super interesting because, like you just said, you get something different from every type of training.
Yeah.
The online training, you might get more of the educational piece, while the in-person training, you might get the technical piece. So it's really good to adapt those different trainings to get the different parts of the market.
That's correct. And new providers need to not be afraid to spend money on those trainings because they're important.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Now, I know you're being immersed in the industry right now. That's the only way you really, I say, separate from yourself from the others and really, have success in this market. What are some trends that you're seeing in the industry right now as far as aesthetics are concerned that you recommend to your patients maybe, or that you use on yourself?
So trends, I definitely have to say PDO threads.
Nice.
We do a lot of those. Lip fillers. Everyone wants some lip filler.
Yeah.
But definitely PDO threads.
Yeah.
Facial balancing, we do combination therapy here. So it's all about looking at each client specifically to determine what they need. But no one treatment is going to work. It's a combination of things. We have Aerolase laser, we use PDO threads, Botox, fillers. There's just a combination of things. Medical grade peels, no one treatment is going to help the situation.
And I get a lot of, I speak to a lot of people, in the community, and they always say, I'll just go get these PDO threads and my face will be lifted up or something like that. Yeah. But to my understanding of what you're saying, it's a combination of so many things to kind of get the same results.
Yes. I don't focus on one treatment.
What's the difference between, someone getting surgery and then actually getting the threads? What's the percentage-wise, or even like what's the difference that you tell patients?
Well, if patients want a drastic change, they definitely want to go have surgery.
Yeah.
Aesthetics is not anything drastic, in my opinion. It's a process and it takes time. And I tell all of my clients that you will not look, different overnight. I can help, but I can't, work miracles.
Yeah, no, I get you. And one of the providers I interviewed recently told me like they can only enhance what you already have.
Yes.
Like so many people probably come in trying to look like different celebrities, but you only can enhance what you have naturally.
Yes, and I just say I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, definitely. What celebrity do people want to look like the most in your office?
Honestly, I haven't had anyone come in showing me a picture of a celebrity saying they want to look like a celebrity.
Wow.
I have not had that.
Yes.
I have not had that.
That leads me to our next question, I guess. What's the demographic in this area then?
So we have a mix. I'd say females 40 to 60.
Okay.
But we do have a variety.
Nice.
But the majority I'd have to say 40 to 60.
Okay, so I could understand that. Definitely, it's a different type of crowd versus like the millennials.
Like I said, we have millennials as well.
Yeah.
But the ones that continuously come back for treatments on a set scheduled, basis are definitely the 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds. They're the ones that have a nice maintenance plan.
Nice. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good to know. I know in South Florida is like the testing market. I always want to say for aesthetics, like everything that's new, everything that's happening in South Florida. Eventually, I feel like will spread all over the United States.
Okay.
Slowly but surely. What have you feel like have changed in South Florida since you've been practicing?
What has changed? Well, people are definitely more open to getting Botox, especially in the Caribbean community. I'm Caribbean, and let me tell you now, everyone is asking, oh, do you think I need this? Oh, should I try this? So it's definitely a more common subject than before.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like even I'm Caribbean too. I'm half Jamaican, and in my family, like I tell my mom or my sisters, like, I'm in this industry, and Botox is the new thing. You got to try it. They're like, no, what is this? I don't know what this is. So it's the educational piece. How do you educate? Yeah.
Well, I try to inform my clients or newcomers and just say, listen, this treatment will not change the way you look. And my goal is to not change the way you look. I'm only trying to enhance your natural beauty.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And it works.
I bet. No, I agree. So that's amazing. Yeah. What are have you ever got a patient that maybe came in that are like, I want to get this overfilled, or you might think it's overfilled, but to them it's not. How do you handle those type of situations?
Okay, so first I ask them what's the reason why they want this overfilled. If, in my opinion, it is overfilled. And usually the answer is the industry that they work in, that's the look that they want. So if that's the answer that they give me and it's something related to their job, then I will treat them to my comfort level. If not, I just don't do it.
And I definitely can understand that for sure. I almost feel like it's like body dysmorphia, and some people like they just want more and more and more, and it's kind of hard to be like, okay, you got to stop. Or I don't think this is safe for you as a medical provider.
Yes.
Do you think there's a big mental part to it, almost mental health?
Well, that's not my forte, mental health. Yeah. So I cannot answer that question because I don't feel I can say that it's something mental why they feel this way. I just can't be the judge of that. But I do, if I feel like that is a possibility, I give them the number of someone that I feel that they should speak with in order to help themselves.
Yeah.
And then I just tell them I don't feel comfortable doing this treatment for them, and maybe they can find another provider.
Gotcha. That sounds like a good method. You're
Yeah.
being honest but transparent,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
leading them in the right direction.
Exactly.
How big is community in this industry? Like knowing other providers, really learning from them, things of that nature.
So when I started injecting, I actually reached out to a few of my other girlfriends
Yeah.
and said, listen, I'm going to take this class, take it with me. Let's see where this goes,
Yeah.
And it worked. Those situations I felt helped to grow my business, and myself and those providers, we still communicate. We help each other when we can, and we stay connected. So I do think community is very important.
Nice. And especially like letting them know the updates in the industry, what's going on. You can't possibly know all the training classes, all the events, all this. So that networking piece that you brought up earlier
Yes,
is very important.
it is important.
Nice. What made you want to start your own? I know we're in your spa right now, and it's amazing. I'm looking around.
Thank
It's so
you.
creative. Like, I love it. What made you want to go from being a provider to actually owning your own spa?
It wasn't planned. It wasn't planned. It just happened that myself and the other provider here, the other owner, we were in a smaller space, and we decided that we should get something a little bit bigger. And it just happened to be in the same plaza that we're in right now. So when the opportunity arose, we just decided to just take a leap and move.
Nice. And it looks amazing, so it
Thank
definitely
you.
paid off, I
Yes,
assume.
thank you.
Yes, great. What services do you offer at your spa?
We offer a little bit of everything.
Nice.
So we do IV vitamin therapy, botox, fillers, PDO threads, Aralace laser treatments, medical grade peels. We offer skincare, facials. We have an esthetician, a full-time esthetician here. We do microblading. So we have a variety of treatments that we provide here.
Super cool. And how do you think you should provide more treatments, or are you more like niche? How do you feel like as far as that has worked for you?
So we have like I said, we have a lot of treatments that we provide, many of which I didn't even mention, including, like hormone replacement therapy. So I think we pretty much offer everything that the typical med spa provides. So I think that works.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's great. That's really great. Now, I know so many providers want to be business owners, right? They've been working in their traditional 1099 role or W-2 role for a couple years, and they want to hop out on their own. Could you give some advice on some things maybe they should look out for, challenges that you experience?
Well, definitely I'd say stay focused.
Yeah.
Stay focused. Continue to educate yourself, and just stay motivated, because sometimes it gets difficult, and you want to, like you said earlier, have a community of people that you can reach out to and encourage each other.
Is there any like motivational things that you do, or how do you stay so keep going? Because I know people like get down and like, oh, I can't do this. How do you stay? How do you keep going?
Well, what helps is I do have my business partner. That helps. And then, like I said, I have other injectors that are close by that we stay connected. We help to motivate each other.
Nice.
So I'd say that that's one of the ways. Not only that, social media helps to keep you motivated. Just looking on Instagram, as far as what other med spas are doing, that helps to motivate me. Anytime I do my training sessions, that helps to motivate me. And then, of course, my family. My family has always been a great inspiration to me as far as staying motivated and just staying focused.
Well, that's great. The community and just like people closest around you,
Yes.
just supporting you. And I agree, 100%. 100%. Great. So let's talk a little bit about new injectors that come into the industry. What are some tips that you can give to them? Like, I want to get my first job. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm frustrated. I've been doing this for a long time. I mean, I've been trying to apply to so many jobs for a long time. What are some things that maybe they can do?
So as far as new injectors coming in, applying to jobs, because I didn't work for anyone when I started injecting, I just started advertising and injecting myself. It's hard for me to tell them how to go out and look for a job as far as it goes in the aesthetics industry. I do know and have heard of other injectors that have had a hard time. And they just tell me they just kept, taking more classes, reaching out to different med spas. I think it may have been a little bit more difficult then because there weren't so many of them. However, now the industry has definitely grown. Yeah. There are a lot of med spas, and a lot of them are looking for new injectors. So I don't think they should have any problem anymore.
No, I can definitely understand that. It's just hard getting to the first needle, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure being a CRNA, you got much more exposure to kind of like feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. Most of the providers like PAs and NPs, I don't think they get the same type of exposure that you would get. So it's hard for them to kind of like do their first injection, even Botox and things like that.
So I just say, honestly, you have to be confident in yourself. Yeah. You have to be confident in yourself. You have to be confident in your skills, and you just have to start.
Yeah.
There's no point in waiting. You already invested the time in the class and in your training as far as your education. So the next thing to do is to just start. Find a client or, a friend that trusts you and start there.
Yeah, no, and that's the advice I give to every new injector also. Build your book or portfolio with before and afters, and use your friends and family as models, you know, if they allow you to.
So that was an issue for me,
really?
Right? So I'm Jamaican as well, and let me tell you, I couldn't find any friends to let me inject. So what I did was I was in a salon suite when we first started, and the other business owners in the suites, that's who I went to, One of the hairdressers or stylists, excuse me, he said, Resha, you can inject my lips. I said, okay, sure, let's go.
Yeah.
So that was my first filler injection, and that worked out well.
Wow, and that's super cool. That's super cool because you took the next step. You're like, okay, I can't have it this way, but let me try this way, and let me get, just get out there.
Yes, and then what we did was, the first thing I did was Botox party. Botox party, invited everyone in the salon suite, and that was it.
Yeah, and that's really good. That's building your brand, building your skills, your knowledge. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely a good tip for them. Try that out. Definitely work that out. Awesome. Now, being in the industry, is there any conferences that you would suggest? Because I know networking is a big play. I myself just went to Medspa for the first time this year. Mm-hmm. Is there any conferences that you go to, or?
I've been to a few conferences, but those were provided from the companies such as MERS and Galderma. So anytime they invite me to a conference, I just get up and go.
Oh, I mean, there's so many in the industry now, and I'm actually myself going to make a list for all the providers.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's meeting different providers in your industry across the world. There's so many different techniques and things of that nature that people can learn. So I definitely want to make a list like that to add more value back. Have you checked out like overseas their techniques and things of that nature?
I haven't. I plan to very soon.
Yes.
So if you know of any that I should definitely attend, please let me know.
Yes, for sure. I'm going to drop some below, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Awesome. Now, as far as injectors, right, we all are on social media. We're on TikTok, the number one app right now in the industry. Who are some people that you follow that could be a good source for injectors to follow, or you like their technique or anything like that?
So I follow a lot of injectors. I think everyone I follow is an injector.
Nice.
But there is Audrey Rose Institute. I follow her. Jacob, Refreshed.
Jacob.
Moksha, I follow her. Excuse me. There's a long list. Too many.
That's really good. Yeah, and we're gonna list those
Dr.
below.
K.
Oh yeah, Dr. K. Love her.
Shino.
Yes.
There's a whole list. I can't even say them all.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And I like that you mentioned like providers, mid-levels and MDs, because they have so much individual value that they give. You know, when I'm looking at an MD's page, they give so many other things that when I'm looking at a mid-levels page that they give as far as knowledge. So I love that. I like that little list that you put together.
And I did also take like Swift Online. You know, there's a lot of little, I do a lot of things as far as keeping myself educated in this industry.
Yeah, because I'm assuming like a lot of new technologies are constantly growing and coming out, you know?
Yes.
As far as like lasers and stuff, to my understanding, they didn't have lasers that treated all types of skin, and now that's more of an advancement.
Yes, yes. Our laser, the Arlace laser, is FDA approved in people of color. So.
Why do you think that has been a challenge by chance?
I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I would love to give you some time to really talk about your med spa, where you guys are located, and things of that nature.
Okay, so the name of our med spa is Reeva Spa and IV Drip Bar. Reeva Med Spa and IV Drip Bar. My Instagram handle is Reeva Med Spa. Reeva_Med Spa. Okay. My personal IG handle is Injector Resha. My partner's handle is Injector Vanita. And then we're located at 935 North University Drive, Coral Springs, Florida, 33071. We also have a second location that's in the same city that we'll, put a link for.
Yeah, so we'll definitely drop all that information below so you can go ahead and check Resha out. She's amazing, has so many services here, and it's amazing. You really have to check it out. I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for sitting down with me, speaking more about the aesthetic industry. Tell everybody where they can, I guess you just tell everybody where they can find you.
Injector Resha.
There you go, there you go. And until next time, bye.
Bye.